Have you ever wondered how rock royalty says goodbye? Ozzy Osbourne's final farewell won't be draped in black mourning clothes, but celebrated with iconic rock fashion and musical tributes. The Prince of Darkness planned his own send-off, and what he requested will surprise you. Wait until you hear about the dress code. It's breaking every funeral fashion rule in the book. When news broke of Ozzy Osbourne's passing at 76, the world didn't just lose a musician. We lost the architect of heavy metal itself. But here's something fascinating about Ozzy that many don't realize. Years before his death, he was already planning his final goodbye, and it's nothing like the somber funerals we've come to expect. I've spent the past decade studying how cultural icons influence fashion during pivotal life moments, and Ozzy's celebration of life will be a masterclass in rock-inspired funeral fashion that women over 50 can draw surprising inspiration from. Through analysing his family's style evolution and Ozzy's own wishes, I've uncovered what we can expect at this historic event. The Osbourne family is planning a massive public celebration in Birmingham, Ozzy's beloved hometown, that will transform how we think about saying goodbye to legends. This won't be a traditional funeral, but a rock-inspired celebration that honours his rebellious spirit and unprecedented influence on music and fashion. Ozzy's legacy, more than just music. Before we dive into the celebration details, let's understand why Ozzy's farewell matters so much. Emerging from working-class Birmingham in the late 1960s, Ozzy and Black Sabbath didn't just create heavy metal, they forged an entirely new cultural identity. What made Ozzy truly revolutionary wasn't just his music, but his complete rejection of conventional style. Those iconic round purple-tinted glasses, the layered silver jewelry, and that unmistakable all-black wardrobe became as influential as his music. For women who appreciate timeless style with an edge, Ozzy demonstrated how signature accessories can define your entire look. Sharon Osbourne, his wife of over 40 years, once revealed, Ozzy never followed fashion, he created it. He wore what felt authentic to him, and that's why his style endured. This philosophy of authentic self-expression through clothing is something every woman over 50 can embrace. The celebration of Ozzy's life will reflect this same authenticity, breaking rules while creating something unforgettable. The celebration? What we know so far. The Osbourne family has confirmed the celebration will take place in Birmingham, bringing Ozzy's journey full circle to where it all began. This location choice speaks volumes about honouring your roots, no matter how far you travel. Unlike traditional funerals held in churches or funeral homes, Ozzy's celebration will likely be held at a significant music venue, possibly the same Birmingham arena where Black Sabbath performed their final show in 2017. This setting creates a completely different atmosphere and, importantly, different dress expectations. According to sources close to the family, the event will feature performances from rock legends spanning multiple generations. Artists like Youngblood, who Ozzy mentored, are expected to perform alongside rock veterans. This musical tribute will celebrate Ozzy's cross-generational appeal, something we'll see reflected in the fashion choices as well. Sharon Osbourne will undoubtedly play a central role in orchestrating the event. Known for her impeccable style evolution from rock manager to fashion icon, Sharon's outfit choice will set the tone for the entire celebration. Based on her recent public appearances, we can expect her to wear a structured black designer ensemble, likely Alexander McQueen or Vivienne Westwood, that balances sophistication with rock edge. Fashion at rock funerals. Breaking tradition. Now, let's explore what makes rock legend farewells so different from traditional funerals, especially when it comes to fashion. Traditional funeral attire, the conservative black dress or suit, evolved from Victorian mourning customs. But rock culture has always rejected such conventions, creating its own rules for honouring fallen icons. When Motorhead's Lemmy Kilmister passed away in 2015, his celebration of life featured attendees in leather jackets, band t-shirts and jeans, honouring his no-nonsense approach to style. This wasn't disrespectful, it was the most authentic tribute possible. For women attending rock celebrations, this creates a unique opportunity to express respect while embracing personal style. The key is finding that perfect balance between honoring the occasion and celebrating the artistic spirit. At Ozzy's celebration, we can expect to see a fascinating blend of high fashion and rock aesthetics. Celebrity attendees will likely showcase designer interpretations of rock-inspired morning wear. Think structured black dresses with unexpected details, statement jewelry, and subtle nods to Ozzy's signature style elements. What would Ozzy want? His own words. What makes this celebration particularly special is that Ozzy himself expressed clear wishes about his final farewell. In a 2019 interview with Metal Hammer magazine, Ozzy stated, "I don't want my funeral to be a sad, crying affair. I want people to celebrate my life and the music we created together." He even joked about having his coffin designed to look like a giant amplifier, showing his desire to maintain his larger-than-life persona even in death. While the family may not go quite that far, this spirit of celebration rather than mourning will undoubtedly influence the event's tone and dress code. Ozzy specifically requested that people wear colours beyond just black, another departure from funeral tradition that opens up fascinating style possibilities for attendees. This doesn't mean neon or pastels, but rather deep jewel tones that complement black while adding dimension and personality. For women over 50 who appreciate elegant style with character, this creates an opportunity to incorporate deep purples, reminiscent of Ozzy's, signature glasses, rich burgundies, or midnight blues into an otherwise black ensemble. Celebrity style predictions, who will attend and what they'll wear. The celebration will undoubtedly draw rock royalty from across generations, and their fashion choices will create a fascinating study in rock-inspired funeral attire. Based on their connections to Ozzy and their own style histories, here are my predictions for key attendees and their likely fashion choices. Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler, Ozzy's Black Sabbath bandmates, will likely wear elevated versions of their stage attire. Black suits with subtle rock details like silver jewelry or unique textures. Their wives may opt for sophisticated black dresses with statement silver accessories, a nod to the band's aesthetic. Elton John, a longtime friend of the Osbournes, will likely bring his signature flamboyance in a respectful way. Perhaps a black Gucci suit with subtle embellishments or unique eyewear as a nod to Ozzy's iconic glasses. For the women in attendance, we'll see a fascinating range of interpretations. Kelly Osbourne, Ozzy's daughter who has carved her own path in fashion, will likely honour her father with a custom-designed black ensemble that incorporates subtle purple elements, a nod to both her own signature hair colour and her father's famous glasses. Sharon Osbourne's close friend, Sharon Stone, may opt for a sleek black designer dress with architectural elements, sophisticated yet with the edge that honours Ozzy's boundary-pushing spirit. What's particularly interesting for women over 50 is how these celebrities will demonstrate that rock-inspired fashion doesn't mean dressing like a 20-year-old fan. Instead, they'll show how to incorporate elements of rock aesthetics, texture, hardware, unexpected details into age-appropriate, sophisticated attire. Historical context, iconic funeral fashion moments. To truly understand what makes Ozzy's celebration unique, let's look at other iconic funeral fashion moments that broke tradition and created lasting impressions. When Princess Diana passed in 1997, the sea of floral tributes created a visual shift in how the public participated in mourning. While the royal family wore traditional black, the public's colourful floral tributes created a new visual language for grief. Michael Jackson's 2009 memorial saw his daughter Paris wearing a custom Versace black dress with a brooch resembling her father's iconic white glove, demonstrating how personal symbols can be incorporated into funeral attire in meaningful ways. More recently, Queen Elizabeth II's funeral featured carefully chosen jewellery with deep historical significance, showing how accessories can communicate heritage and continuity even in mourning. For rock legends specifically, David Bowie's private funeral broke all conventions. Following his wishes, there was no funeral service, just a direct cremation. However, fans worldwide created their own celebrations, dressing in Bowie-inspired outfits, spanning his many style eras. This demonstrated how fashion itself can become a form of tribute. What these examples teach us is that meaningful funeral fashion isn't about following rules, but about authentic expression that honors the deceased's legacy. For women over 50 attending similar events, this means choosing attire that respects the occasion while incorporating elements that genuinely connect to the person being honored. The Black Sabbath influence, fashion legacy. Ozzy's fashion influence can't be separated from Black Sabbath's visual impact. The band created a distinct aesthetic that continues to influence fashion today, from high-end designers to everyday streetwear. In the early 1970s, when most rock bands were embracing colorful, flamboyant styles, Black Sabbath chose all black, creating a visual statement as powerful as their music. This commitment to black wasn't just about looking intimidating. It was about stripping away distractions and focusing on authenticity. For women over 50 who appreciate timeless style, there's a valuable lesson here. Sometimes a consistent signature look speaks more powerfully than constantly changing with trends. Ozzy found his authentic style early and refined it rather than reinvented it, an approach that creates true personal style. High-end fashion has repeatedly drawn inspiration from this aesthetic. Alexander McQueen, Saint Laurent, and Rick Owens have all created collections that echo Black Sabbath's combination of black textiles, silver accessories, and unexpected proportions. At Ozzy's celebration, we'll likely see attendees incorporating subtle nods to this influence, perhaps through layered silver jewelry, interesting textile combinations, or unexpected accessories that add dimension to all black ensembles. What should fans wear? Style guide for attendees. For fans attending the public celebration, the question of what to wear presents a unique style challenge. How do you honor a rock legend while still looking appropriate and true to yourself? Based on Ozzy's own wishes and rock funeral traditions, here's a style guide that women over 50 can use to create the perfect attire. Start with a base of black, but don't feel limited to a traditional dress. Well-tailored black trousers paired with a structured top can be just as appropriate and often more comfortable for a venue-based celebration. Incorporate one signature accessory that references Ozzy's style. This could be round sunglasses, a piece of silver jewelry, or a subtle touch of purple. The key is subtlety. One reference is powerful, while multiple can become costume-like. Consider texture as a way to add dimension to an all-black outfit. Leather details, velvet, or interesting textiles create visual interest while maintaining sophistication. A leather jacket over a simple black dress creates the perfect balance of rock edge and elegance. Footwear should be both practical and stylish, as venue celebrations often involve more standing than traditional funerals. A block-heeled boot offers stability while honoring the rock aesthetic. For women who prefer a more traditional look, consider how small details can acknowledge the rock context. Perhaps a silver brooch on a classic black dress or a subtle metallic thread in an otherwise conservative outfit. The most important guideline is authenticity. Ozzy's entire career was built on being genuinely himself, and the most respectful tribute is to bring your authentic self to his celebration. Other rock legend celebrations, learning from the past. To better understand what to expect at Ozzy's celebration, let's examine how other rock legends have been honored and what made those events memorable. When Freddie Mercury was honored at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert in 1992, the event became as much about celebration as mourning. Fashion at this event ranged from elaborate costumes inspired by Mercury's stage wear to simple black with yellow accents, referencing his iconic yellow jacket. Lemmy Kilmister's celebration featured Jack Daniels branded urns and a live-streamed service from the Rainbow Bar and Grill, his favorite hangout. Attendees wore leather and band shirts, creating an atmosphere that felt like a rock show rather than a funeral. David Bowie's private cremation was followed by worldwide fan tributes where people dressed in everything from Ziggy Stardust-inspired outfits to simple black with a lightning bolt accessory. This demonstrated how personal interpretation can be more meaningful than strict dress codes. What these celebrations share is their focus on authenticity rather than tradition. They honored the artist by embracing the culture they created rather than imposing conventional funeral customs. For Ozzy's celebration, we can expect this same spirit, an event that feels more like a tribute concert than a funeral, with fashion that reflects this celebratory approach. The evolution of celebration of life events. What's particularly interesting about Ozzy's upcoming farewell is how it reflects a broader cultural shift away from traditional funerals toward more personalized celebrations of life. For women over 50, this shift offers liberation from rigid funeral traditions and opens up more authentic ways to honor those we've lost. The strict rules about appropriate funeral attire, rules that often felt particularly restrictive for women, are giving way to more personalized expressions of respect. Celebration of life events focus on the person's impact and legacy rather than their death. This shift in focus naturally influences everything from venue choice to music selection to dress code. Global participation, how fans worldwide will join. While the physical celebration will take place in Birmingham, Ozzy's global fan base will participate in various ways, creating a worldwide moment of tribute. The family has indicated that portions of the celebration may be live-streamed, allowing fans everywhere to witness this historic event. This global accessibility creates interesting questions about virtual attendance attire. Will fans at home dress up to watch the live stream as a way of participating more fully? Social media will undoubtedly play a major role, with hashtags like #NotAussieFarewell and Celebration for Ozzy already gathering tributes. Many fans are planning to post photos of themselves in Ozzy-inspired outfits as a form of virtual attendance. Fan gatherings are being organised in cities worldwide, creating satellite celebrations where local communities can come together. These events will likely feature their own interpretations of appropriate attire, from full costume in some venues to subtle tributes in others. This global participation demonstrates how modern mourning has evolved beyond physical presence to include virtual communities, something that would have been unimaginable in previous generations. Sharon Osbourne's role, the woman behind the legend. No discussion of Ozzy's celebration would be complete without acknowledging Sharon Osbourne's central role, not just in planning the event, but throughout Ozzy's life and career. Sharon's transformation from music manager to fashion icon offers powerful inspiration for women over 50. Her style evolution demonstrates how women can reinvent themselves while maintaining authenticity, something particularly relevant to our audience. Her own outfit will undoubtedly be carefully chosen to honor Ozzy while showcasing her own strong sense of style. For women attending similar events or planning celebrations for loved ones, Sharon provides a template for how to honor someone deeply while maintaining your own identity and strength. Fashion inspiration, taking elements into everyday style. While we've focused on what to wear to Ozzy's celebration specifically, there are broader style lessons here that women over 50 can incorporate into everyday wardrobes. Rock-inspired fashion doesn't have to mean full leather or band t-shirts. The essence of rock style, authenticity, confidence, and thoughtful rebellion can be incorporated subtly into sophisticated wardrobes. Consider how signature accessories, like Ozzy's round glasses or layered silver jewelry, can define your personal style. One distinctive, consistent element often creates more impact than constantly changing your entire look. The rock aesthetics focus on quality materials and interesting textures translates perfectly to mature wardrobes. Leather details, unique hardware, or unexpected textile combinations add character to otherwise classic pieces. Black doesn't have to be boring. The Black Sabbath approach to all-black dressing demonstrates how varying textures, layers, and silhouettes can create rich visual interest even within a limited color palette. Most importantly, rock fashion at its core is about authentic self-expression rather than following trends, a philosophy that becomes increasingly valuable as we develop our personal style over the decades. This celebration offers a masterclass in how to honor traditions while still breaking rules that don't serve us. The music, soundtrack to the farewell. The musical selections at Ozzy's celebration will be as carefully curated as the visual elements, creating an emotional journey for attendees and viewers. According to industry insiders, the celebration will likely feature a carefully structured musical program that spans Ozzy's entire career, from early Black Sabbath classics to his solo work to his final recordings. This musical journey will create emotional peaks and valleys throughout the event. For the fashion-conscious, these musical shifts create interesting styling challenges. The ideal outfit needs to feel appropriate during both the more somber, reflective moments and the high-energy celebratory segments. Another reason why thoughtfully chosen rock-inspired attire works better than traditional funeral wear. The venue transformation, creating a visual legacy. The venue itself will undergo a remarkable transformation to create an environment that honors Ozzy's visual aesthetic and larger-than-life persona. Based on previous rock legend celebrations and the Osbourne family's own event history, we can expect dramatic lighting, carefully selected imagery spanning Ozzy's career, and symbolic elements that reference his most iconic moments. The traditional funeral's somber floral arrangements will likely be replaced by more dramatic visual elements, perhaps incorporating Ozzy's signature crosses, purple lighting reminiscent of his glasses, or other visual motifs from album covers and stage designs. This environmental design creates a completely different context for attendee attire. Unlike the subdued backdrop of a traditional funeral home, this dynamic setting means outfits will be seen against dramatic lighting and powerful imagery. Another reason why thoughtful rock-inspired attire works better than conventional funeral wear. For women attending similar events, this highlights the importance of considering the venue and overall visual context when planning your outfit. The same black dress that works perfectly in a traditional setting might feel underwhelming in a dramatically transformed concert venue. The family's fashion evolution, lessons in authentic style. The Osbourne family's own style evolution offers fascinating insights into how authentic personal style develops over decades, something particularly relevant to our audience of women over 50. Sharon Osbourne's transformation from behind-the-scenes manager to fashion icon in her own right demonstrates how women can reinvent themselves while maintaining authenticity. Her style evolution from 80s power suits to her current sophisticated with an edge aesthetic offers inspiration for women navigating their own style journeys. Kelly Osbourne's fashion journey from rebellious teenager to sophisticated designer shows how youthful experimentation can evolve into confident personal style. Her ability to incorporate elements of rock aesthetic into high fashion contexts provides inspiration for blending influences. Even Jack Osbourne's more conservative style evolution demonstrates how elements of rock influence can be subtly incorporated into professional wardrobes. A lesson in balance that many women appreciate. At the celebration, we'll see the culmination of these style journeys as each family member chooses attire that honors Ozzy while expressing their individual relationship with him. This personalization is something every attendee can incorporate into their own outfit choices. Historical context. For women over 50 who grew up with strict rules about appropriate funeral attire, this evolution offers liberation and the opportunity to honor loved ones in more authentic ways. Ozzy's celebration represents the culmination of this shift, a public rejection of outdated conventions in favor of meaningful personal expression. Celebrity funeral fashion, breaking boundaries. Looking beyond rock culture, celebrity funerals throughout history have often pushed boundaries and created new possibilities for funeral attire. Audrey Hepburn's funeral featured attendees in Givenchy, honoring her connection to the designer and her contribution to fashion history. This demonstrated how fashion itself can become a form of tribute when it connects meaningfully to the deceased's legacy. Jackie Kennedy's funeral attire for JFK, the iconic black suit and veil, became so influential that it transformed funeral fashion for a generation. This shows the power of a single strong image to reshape cultural expectations. More recently, Aretha Franklin's multiple outfit changes during her multi-day funeral celebrations demonstrated how personal expression can be incorporated into even the most traditional services. Her gold coffin and matching outfits celebrated her Queen of Soul status rather than diminishing it in death. These boundary-breaking moments create precedents that expand possibilities for everyone. After seeing how meaningful personalized funeral fashion can be, many women feel empowered to make more authentic choices for themselves and their loved ones. The legacy. How this celebration will influence future farewells. Ozzy's celebration of life will likely become a reference point for future public figures' farewells, particularly those from the entertainment world. For the fashion industry specifically, this event will likely inspire designers to create more nuanced approaches to mourning wear, pieces that honor tradition while incorporating personal expression and celebration. We may see collections that specifically reference this new approach to farewell attire. Most importantly, this celebration will give permission to countless ordinary people to approach death and remembrance with more authenticity and personal meaning. By publicly rejecting outdated conventions, the Osbourne family creates space for all of us to make more meaningful choices. The final curtain call. As we anticipate Ozzy Osbourne's celebration of life, we're witnessing not just the farewell to a rock legend, but a powerful example of how authentic self-expression can transform even our final goodbyes. The fashion choices we'll see, from Sharon's sophisticated tribute to celebrity interpretations of rock-inspired mourning wear to fans' personal expressions of respect, will demonstrate how clothing can communicate meaning beyond words. These visual statements will become part of Ozzy's lasting legacy. As you consider your own attendance at similar events or plan celebrations for loved ones, remember that the most powerful tribute isn't following rules, but creating authentic expressions of respect that honor the individual's unique spirit and contribution. Ozzy's final curtain call reminds us that even in farewell, we can stay true to the values and aesthetic choices that defined our lives. For a man who spent his career breaking boundaries and defying expectations, nothing less would be fitting. I'd love to hear your thoughts on rock-inspired funeral fashion. Have you ever attended a celebration of life that broke traditional rules? What would you wear to honor a rock legend? Share your experiences in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on style evolution and cultural moments that matter to women like us.